And one of the ways that you talk about that is what you did with TED. You, at the beginning of TED, you realized that you could broadcast the videos on the internet, and you decided to do that for free. And then you went even further and you gave away the whole brand. You gave everybody in the world the opportunity to host their own TED event. Those were big. There must have been opposition, and you must have thought this could go, terribly wrong.
Yeah, definitely. It was a little scary. TED back in early 2000s was a once-a-year conference, technology, entertainment, design. I took it over through a foundation that had some money in it. Very exciting to do, but we spent a long time trying to figure out how to get it out there in the world. When online video came along, there was a chance to do it, but there was a risk that if we put them out there, it would kill the conference. And so, yeah,
the only money you were making, I guess, was people paying
tickets
to go to the conference.
No, absolutely. But we were a non-profit, felt like the right thing to do. We did it. We'd listened to TED Talks. We'd drunk the Kool-Aid. The internet wants stuff to be free, so we put it out there. And to our amazement, demand for the conference rose because these talks went viral. And so since then, this idea of, in the connected age, give it away and be amazed at what happens next became, I would say, our strategy. Radical generosity, our strategy. And the argument of the book is that that is a strategy that any individual can apply and any organization can apply. And it's so beautiful when it works. So the TEDx thing, we gave away the brand. Harvard Business Review wrote this article, How TED Lost Control of Its Crowd. They were right. And some really embarrassing things happened. And it was great.
There were some crazy TEDx talks.
There were some crazy and embarrassing TEDx talks. We were ashamed. I was taunted on Twitter and elsewhere.
But you must have had some guardrails, like if something was especially nuts, it wouldn't go online.
We had policies against pseudoscience and religion and so forth being used in TED. It wasn't the platform for that, and sometimes those things were ignored. But the amazing thing is that the vast majority of events were loved by people. The talks were great, and we ended up with 3,000 of these teams around the world. So right now, TED is 200 people in New York, employees, and more than 60,000 volunteers around the world.
Translators and
TEDx organizers doing stuff for us out of their own love of ideas. It's incredible, and it's only happened because we decided to give stuff away. And most of these events are loved. Get 25,000 videos a year from it. Many of the best, your favorite TED speakers came up through TEDx.
Brene Brown.
Yeah, Brene Brown, Simon Sinek, many of like people who we would never have dared to put on stage turn out to be amazing. So even if TED hadn't been a nonprofit, if it had been a business, this would have been the smartest possible thing we could have done. And so it just really hit me how, because we're connected, all of these things can happen when you give something away. One, it can spread to an indefinite number of people. Two, the total cost of that distribution is zero. That's unbelievable. And three, these gifts carry with them reputation. So they're a complete game changer.
And ripples too. And by the way, can I ask, financially giving stuff away, does that mean that TED made billions?
No. So you have to think about it and do it smart. There are some things you could give away that would destroy your business. In the case of TEDx, the licenses are free. Didn't charge for them. What we do get is rights to the videos. So the event organizers upload the videos on YouTube. There is some ad revenue from those videos. That comes to TED. That pays for part of the cost of the program. The rest is funded mostly philanthropically by people who just like the idea of us having all these events around the world. But you have to, when we said with TEDx, it works because of rules and tools. Rules on how you have to use the format, tools on just encouraging people. Here is how you put on a good event. This is all we know. Take this knowledge and run with it. And I think any act, I really encourage in the book anyone to spend if you're an organization or company, or even as an individual or family, spend a day brainstorming what is the most radical thing we could give away. And but be smart about it, and you may be amazed at what happens next.
So this is your advice to creators. Give